Good evening, Tottenham fans. Welcome to another episode of YouTubers React, where I get other Tottenham content creators to give me their views on today's game. Now, today's match finished Tottenham 1, Sunderland 1, and it felt like a loss from a Tottenham point of view. In that first half, Tottenham were absolutely much better in attack. We were pressing well, we were winning duels, we were pressing them back. We scored a goal through Ben Davies, of all people, as well. And it just looked like we were playing a lot better with a lot more passion. And something we wanted to see, and this is the thing that the Spurs fans were crying out for, was a lot more attack-minded play. And we did. And but then it got to the second half and it just reverted back to type. We started going back deeper. We started laying off Sunderland. Our pressing was off. We weren't creating anything. Our passing was off again. We were going back to how we were playing in the last few games. I think Thomas Frank got booed off at the end of the game. So it was, and you'll see from the other YouTubers that I bring on today, they're very disappointed because that game was there for the taking. The biggest problem we had today was the final ball and clinical finishing. Every time we got to that final third, we just didn't make the right decision. We didn't do the right pass. There was no technical ability in there to actually finish Sunderland off. We should have done that in the first half. We should have had 2 or 3 in the first half. And because it was only 1-0, we knew it was inevitable. Sunderland were going to come out in that second half and they were going to push and press and harass us. They've done it in every game this season so far. You know, they're a good side, a good solid side, but they had 7 players missing. They played a few days ago, as did we, but they've got a smaller squad than us from all the people that they're missing from the AFCON, and they still managed to get a point. This home form is absolutely dreadful, but our form in particular, I think we've only won 2 in the last 11. It massively needs to improve. It feels like recruitment is so vital now. We need to get some quality players in and we need to do it fast because we've just let our top goal scorer of last season go and we haven't replaced him. It's so vital and so important now to really get this squad kicking. And there were green shoots in that first half, so it wasn't all bad, but because of the performances in previous games, we just reverted back to type and ended up with a point when it should have been more, so it felt like a loss. Now, the first person we're going to bring on today is Kate, and this is what she had to say.
Hi everyone, it's Kate from Kate and Jimbo giving my reaction to Tottenham 1, Sunderland 1. Really disappointing because I thought we played much better in the first half. I did a pump up earlier on We Are Tottenham TV and everyone was, well not everyone, but a lot of people were having a meltdown that Ben Davies started. And number one, I don't agree with anyone judging a player before they've even kicked a ball. And number two, this guy, he's like a James Milner. He's always very professional. And he hasn't let us down of late. And I think he needs to be given a bit of respect. And, of course, he popped up with the first goal, which was good to see, a bit of karma there. And then in the second half, Sunderland were always going to come out better because they were terrible in the first half. And we kind of took our foot off the brake a little bit, which was disappointing. I thought Tell had quite a good performance overall. Vic was decent enough. A very good goal from them to give it to get the draw. Yeah, if anything, we missed a few chances we probably should have scored. But I thought it was a more attacking performance, which is what we've all wanted to see. And, yeah, look, it's still not the most prettiest football in the world. But it's another point. Yes, we should have won, but we didn't lose. That's how I'm looking at it for now. So on to Bournemouth on Wednesday, and let's hope we can get 3 points there. Come on, you Spurs.
Loving that enthusiastic "come on you Spurs" at the end from Kate there. She's right about Ben Davies though. He's never really let us down ever. And for me, I didn't mind that decision putting Ben Davies in. He's left-footed. I think he gave us a lot more balance, and obviously he scored that goal. So brilliant from Ben Davies. Spot on from Kate there. Now, next up, I've got Harry, and this is what Harry had to say.
Hi, thanks for having me. So my thoughts on this game then, it's frustrating as it ends 1-1. I think, chalk and cheese first and second half. First half it was dominant, had control of the game, looked good, bright, the best I've seen us for a little while. Second half, I just think it's small margins that are just frustrating, where we sit off maybe a little bit too much and are punished. But it's very difficult to be closed-minded. We have to look at this and go credit Sunderland because they're substitutes and they just generally look better as the game went on. But that was down to substitutes they made. The big one was putting McKeely at right back, who looked very good. So Sunderland deserve a lot of credit. It wasn't complete. It was self-destruct from Tottenham. But again, we are our own worst enemy because a little bit of that is on us, where we decide to sit in, which of course does come from the manager. I personally think the substitutes were fine in terms of the players he brought on. Everyone who brought on made sense. Paulinho, for the fresh legs and to help see the game out. Jed Spence, Scarlett, all for different reasons. They're all the right substitutes, but I don't think the right players come off. I think having Bentancur and Paulinho was unnecessary. I think bringing Paulinho on had to be done in a game like this against Sunderland, and he did solve a lot of those issues, but not enough to prevent the goal. Sunderland's goal is nothing that we've done necessarily. You can sit back or attack if that's a superb Sunderland goal. But the point is, we could be going for a second goal, should be going for a second goal. Best form of defence is attack, and that is ever true, so true. So it's frustrating to be sitting here knowing that we've drawn this game, and I don't think it's a disaster as some people make out, of course, not just this game, but generally at the moment. I would say I'm 100%, and I mean this 100% fine, Frank. I think you'll struggle to find any manager, literally anybody, even the likes of Pep Guardiola, will come in and do a better job with the attack we have and the amount of injuries to key players that we have. And I hate to use it as an excuse, but this is where we should be with what we've got available, maybe a little bit higher, kind of 9th, 10th. But Frank, for me, does need time. And games like this, you think, right, come on, we've got to go for this, with Tottenham Hotspur. Let's win this game and get the job done. And we do this by attacking, not by defending. We sit off, and what's frustrating for Frank is you're thinking, okay, we've done nothing wrong by sitting off here because it was a superb goal scored by Brian Bobby. But again, it's poor from our own players because we clearly wound him up. He was wound up, but wound up in a way that he was keen to score against us. And you can see by his celebration, the way he took the goal as well, he scored with anger and he celebrated with anger based on moments he had with Spurs players before. So to the likes of Bentancur, Porro, whoever lashed out, and there was more than that with him, they should stand heads in shame because they just encouraged him to score, in my view. So it's a good Sunderland goal. They're a tough team to beat. They draw a lot of games, and for Spurs it's frustrating because, ultimately, like I said there, although I don't think it's disastrous, we do ideally need to find ourselves in the top half. I think, to get in the top 8 is a realistic achievement, and it's really tight. That's the thing. It's a really tight league, so that's why patience is needed. So I'm frustrated, but I'm always glass half full. I think move on to the next one and, learn from our mistakes. Come on, you Spurs.
Thank you there, Harry. Oh, and by the way, as usual, all their links to all their channels will be in the comment section pinned. So just go to their channel, click the link, and subscribe to their channels, please. Thanks for that, Harry. And probably glass half full is probably the best way to look at it. Otherwise, you'll just get depressed. So thank you there, Harry. Next up, I have Andy, and this is what Andy had to say.
Spurs 1, Sunderland 1 in a game of two halves, and you can pull out quite a few of those sort of cliche terms, but it was a game of two halves. First half, very good attacking play. Odegaard, Tell, even Richie was making good runs. The midfield was controlled by Bentancur, Gray. They really created nothing in the first half. So, it was a good first half, and as a whole, Spurs should have gone in at the half 2 or 3 up. If you don't take your chances in the Premier League, what happens? Second half, players come out. There's no atmosphere. Sunderland just quite casually grew into the game. They didn't come out roaring. They grew into the game, looked like they wanted it more, and showed that they wanted it more. We're in the year of 2026, and Ben Davies is our best attacking threat today, which is a terrifying thing to say. Bear in mind, we all kind of forgot he was still at the football club a few months ago. If that game was anything to sort of go off. Watching Bergvall not able to throw a ball for a throw-in, and just having absolutely no attacking clue what to do in the second half when we'd conceded is a very, very worrying sign. If you were a betting person and you were betting on what are Spurs going to be going forward, the first half or the second half, I don't know anyone that would ever bet on us being the first half. It's, second half is what we've seen quite frequently over the last weeks and months, and something needs to change, and recruitment really, really is crucial now. The squad is bereft of talent, and Jesus, do we need some help right now. Missing a Doggy, Kudus, Kulu, Madders, Solanke. You're missing quite major players. You're missing, in theory, an attacking front four. Help us, help us, help us. That's what we need. Take care, everyone.
Thanks, Andy. And everyone, don't forget to subscribe to his channel. Now, Inside Spurs. So he was right. We do need a massive, massive amount of help in recruitment wise. But also we have Xavi missing. Kudos went off early. Kulu, Maddison, Solanke. There's a lot of attacking players out of this game. So I'm not surprised that, the final third was a massive problem for us today. Next up, I have Nigel from Pure Coys, and this is what Nigel had to say.
Hey, Alan, Nigel from Pure Coys TV. So it's ended Tottenham 1, Sunderland 1. And for me, it was another ball fest. I thought we did okay first half. Looked bright going forward. I thought Tell did okay. Was unlucky with a shot. Obviously hurt us with Kudus going off early, injured. Richarlison had a few half chances, but apart from that, obviously the goal, a header back across goal from a set piece. Van der Ven's shot goalward and Davis deflected it in. But apart from that, we didn't really create anything. And Sunderland did absolutely nothing first half. And I thought it would be a pretty comfortable afternoon. But whatever was said at half time, it worked for Sunderland. Tottenham just didn't show up second half. It was like night and day for me. We didn't create anything. I can really remember a few breakaways where we had a chance to get the second, but the final ball or the final delivery was really poor. And Sunderland grew into the game, and the more and more the game went on, the more it looked like they might grab an equaliser. And in the end they did. I thought they deserved it. And on another day, listen, they could have won this game. Spurs, major concerns. Major concerns. We just were not at it again. There was signs in that first half that we might be okay. But for me, second half, really, really poor. We are a mid to lower half Premier League side now. I hate to say it. We're Tottenham fans. We want to be up in and around that top four, but we got to face it. A mid to lower Premier League side currently. Unless something changes. Is that on Frank? Is that on the players? I think it's on a bit of both. I don't think Frank's good enough. I don't think Tottenham are brave enough. And I don't think the players are good enough. So it is what it is. We get a point. We move on. I'm really depressing at the moment. No supporting Spurs, I've got to be honest. Guys, make sure you smash a like and hit the subscribe for Alan at Tottenham Logic TV. And subscribe to everyone else as well. Have a great rest of the weekend. Have a great week. Hopefully, Bournemouth will be a different game. Guys, have a good one and take care.
Thanks, Nigel. And it's hard to disagree of how depressing it is supporting Spurs at the moment. I did see some green shoots in that first half, and I thought, you know what, maybe we're starting to turn the corner. But the lack of quality and the lack of decision making has really stuffed us up today. Really, that's the main thing for me. Now, last but not least, I've got Dan from the Spurs Danalist. I saved him for last because he's very, very upset with Spurs at the moment, and you'll be able to feel his pain when you hear what he has to say.
Yes, guys, back for a match reaction. Please subscribe to Alan, Tottenham Logic, and please subscribe to all the other content creators as well. Look, guys, back with a match reaction. Tottenham 1, Sunderland 1. Here we go again, isn't it? More drop points at home. Another disappointing performance in the end. First half, we took the lead. Bit of a scrappy goal, but you take it. We were trying to score. We were getting in good positions. It was just always a kind of poor final ball or poor finish. Sunderland came to defend and they sat back for most of that half. And we looked in control. It looked like a game where we could go and win comfortably. The players seemed up for it. But a 1-0 scoreline is a dangerous scoreline. Second half, the hopes that Spurs would go on and get 1, 2, 3 more goals to try and take the game away from Sunderland. But this Spurs team, you know, we sometimes forget that this Spurs team is not a good team right now. We do have a lot of injuries. We have a lot of missing players. Didn't help losing Kudos on 19 minutes. Again, second half, we got in some really good opportunities, but just poor decision-making, poor finishing, poor final ball. And Sunderland were growing slowly through that second half. Thoroughly deserved their equaliser. Looked like the team that wanted to go on and win that game in the end. They had all the attacking momentum. I don't know what, midway through that second half, they were out possessing us at our ground. Sunderland, who are not a possession-based team this season, out possession Spurs at our ground. I mean, I've seen enough. I have seen enough. I come on here on my own channel on this match reaction, and it's just the same old issues. Yes, we got a lot of players out, got a lot of injuries, but this is not acceptable to play like that at home to Sunderland. And it is a lack of quality, because we did get ourselves in some good positions. But how can you let Sunderland completely dominate you at home? Can anyone explain to me what is going on there? I'm just had enough of Thomas Frank's football. Really disappointed, guys. Really disappointed, because I thought today we could get 3 points, push up the table. We could have gone like 7th or 8th, but we remain 13th. Not moved at all, have we? Really? 13th position, and it's not looking hopeful for this side, is it? We're desperate for some players to come back into the team, some attacking players, because we are so poor in the final third, aren't we? And even defensively today, we looked very shaky. Romero giving the ball away. Just Richarlison, he got himself in good positions, but just couldn't. He just doesn't got the quality. Mawani as well doesn't look clinical at all. You know, little bits from Tell and Wilson, but not enough to get you excited. And it was just another disappointing day, another disappointing result. And yeah, I mean, I don't know what else to say, guys. And look, please drop your comments, smash the like button, and yeah, I don't know where we go from here. Bournemouth away on Wednesday. They haven't won in 10. We know how this story goes, don't we? Whatever you think about Bournemouth and them not winning, they will have a go at us, and they play some good football. Yes, we can defend sometimes, but we're awful going forward, and you wouldn't put past Bournemouth getting that long overdue victory, and then that would be another defeat. Sorry, guys. I know it's down in the dumps time, but look, after that performance, especially that second half, it's just really gets to me. It's not good enough. Thomas Frank, I just don't know anymore. And it's on top of all these comments he's coming out in the press about, you know, not happy in the job, but happy to be here, trying to get the fans back on side. Boos at the end, jeers at the end. This football is just not good enough. There's nothing going on in the transfer market. Selling a goal scorer in Johnson. Who's coming in? Anyone got any idea? Are we going to sign a top midfielder? Someone who can control possession of the ball? Who knows? I don't know what's going on. Paratici, is he staying? Is he going? Well, it looks like he's staying, because he's working with Lange. Guys, that's it. I'm done. I'm going to go and do another video on my channel. Another rant, and I've got to get it off my chest and look into it a little bit more detail of this game, get some fans' reaction, hear from Thomas Frank, and yeah, so come and check my reaction later on my channel, the Spurs Analyst. Anyway, guys, I'll catch you all soon. I'll be back on the next match reaction. Take care of yourselves. Try and enjoy the rest of your Sunday evening. Take care. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Dan, mate. And make sure you all subscribe to Dan. Very hardworking, a Tottenham fan, very depressed at the moment. Cheer him up by giving him a subscribe and watch his video that he's going to make a little bit later. I know he was feeling down and feeling a bit saying a few negative things, but you can't argue with what he was saying. Everything he's saying is true. We struggle with most aspects of the game. Even defensively, we looked a bit, open when we shouldn't have been. We got away with a few things today. Sunderland could have scored two or three goals in that second half. We should have killed it off in the first half, but we didn't. The lack of decision making, the lack of clinical players that we have is unreal, especially for a Tottenham Hotspur fans that we're used to Harry Kane and Sonny, and now we've got none of that. We've got no one to get us out of jail anymore. So it's tough times for Spurs, and the transfer window couldn't be more important. Let me know in the comments what you thought of today's video. Please subscribe to everybody that's been on the channel today. Thank you all for coming on. It's really much appreciated. Thank you for watching, and come on, you Spurs.